What's up, fam? Welcome to this coming episode. We're back to where we started. We're back at St. Mary's, and we're back to interviewing young people. With permission of their mother, Kathy, we're allowed to talk to these young people. So, on this episode, we're talking to the Lopez fam.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awkwardly saying hello. That is Johnny. And that is
My name is Kaylee.
My name is Jacob.
And we're just starting this episode so we can talk about as the New Year comes and as Christmas comes and as Advent ends and we have Christmas coming soon. We want to kind of talk about what young people are doing as in their faith and what does church mean to them and what does it mean to be Catholic and what does it mean to be part of this community of what community is this? St. Mary's. All right. So let's talk. It's like obviously you guys are all Catholic, right?
Yes.
Jacob, you're Catholic. And I initially wanted to have this episode with just Jacob, but he had to bring his siblings. But Jacob, I just remembered about last year, right? You spoke in front of the city hall in front of the mayor, right?
Yeah.
And in Fontana, because in Fontana, folks, they're opening up a Planned Parenthood clinic, and Jacob really made an impact on me. And when he spoke about why he did not want an abortion center here in the city of Fontana, and for such a young, how old were you then?
I was 9.
He was 9, and he said something about that. And so share with us what is it that you said during that time.
So what I said was, I don't like Planned Parenthood, but if you kill other babies, then none of us will be alive. None of us here. And I don't remember the rest, but that's all I remember.
There was a lot of conviction in what he said because that was coming from a child's perspective that even in a life that was only 8 years, he knew that life was precious. And that was something that you guys, I've observed you guys actually, 2 of you have been assistant with me when I was doing confirmation here. And you really witnessed to me what it was to be family, to be involved in so many activities. What are some of the activities that you guys were involved in?
One activity is called the Young Marines program.
These guys are Marines. Can you tell? Not
So,
me, but
a
I'm
Young
more
Marine-
looking like I look like I'm Navy. These guys are Marines.
So the Young Marines program is a non-profit organization from ages 8 to 18. And basically what we do is we learn and teach these 3 core traits, which is discipline, leadership, and teamwork. So once we teach that, we get to rank up from privates to sergeants, and we get to go to different leadership schools and learn new things, and also about DDR, which is the drug demand reduction, which teaches us different facts about drugs and why we shouldn't do them.
Oh, that's interesting, and that's super cool. So you can hold this and so like you pass it around. So one of the things that I really wanted to know was the fact that. All right. So aside from the young Marines that you guys are involved in, obviously all of you, including your brother who's not here, Jaime, um, you also were very active in like school and like what are some of the activities that you guys were active in school?
So we did ROTC. We did different clubs in ROTC. So we were also in the leadership for ROTC. So that kind of took a lot of the time that we did. We were very academically involved. We did AP classes and we challenged ourselves in that way. And then I don't know if you want to add on about the sports.
And yes, we also did sports pretty much all 4 years, along with all of those things. The sports include water polo, swimming, and I did 2 years of wrestling. So there's that. So, and that pretty much took half of our majority of our time, besides outside programs that we were a part of.
And how did you find time for like church? Because here's the thing. I've done youth ministry for ever. And Diana's like the youth minister looking at me. It's like, yeah, she was a teen when I was the youth minister. Um, but a lot of the things that go through with young people is that they are involved in a lot of activities. Now, apparently, your mom and your parents have you involved in many activities, which is a good thing. But what I always see is you guys are involved in a lot of activities except for one, which is church. So how are you guys managing and balancing activities in school with academics, sports, leadership classes, extracurricular activities like the Young Marines, and are you still active in your church? Like,
Well, okay, so to answer that last part, yes, we are still active. We've kind of been all throughout high school, going through all that. How we manage it is a little bit difficult, but I guess it's just part of it is just accepting the fact that we won't have as much free time to like watch movies or shows, binge watch shows or any of that, and just kind of learning to enjoy what we do. Because it is possible. We all have enough time to balance all of that. It's just a matter of kind of staying consistent with it, um, and just learning to enjoy it. I feel like.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is just kind of, volunteering. Aside from coming to church was a big thing, is that kept us coming and building our friendships here. It made it less of a chore and less of a thing to do, and more of something that was fun, and besides the fact that you're coming to worship God and things like that. I do think it's good, and I think that our involvement stays pretty strong just because it's what we've been doing our entire lives. It feels weird to not
yeah.
be involved, so it's I think it's, yeah, it's good.
Another thing is because it's on the weekend, and for the Young Marines, we have stuff that does has to do on the weekend. But usually we go to church on Sunday or Saturday, at 5. So it's later where we don't have anything to do and we have more free time.
And also we rush and make sure we be there on time. If not, we'll try to be there on time or early.
And you actually serve at the altar as altar servers, right? Like
Yes.
every single one of you are altar servers. By
Yes.
the way, probably some of the best altar servers. Not to say that the head of the altar servers is right here present, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying these guys are the best altar servers you have. And maybe does that factor in that you guys are also involved in ROTC and Young Marines? That when you guys process, you almost look like the military support team. Like, do you find yourself marching when you're like processing?
Uh,
So I think it kind of feels the same way, where you're kind of walking in front of people and you know that you're being watched, and so you just kind of learn to not really care about what other people are thinking. You just do as you do, and you do what you're what you're supposed to do. I wouldn't say it becomes robotic like in the military or when we march and stuff, but it does have some sort of similarities in how you feel.
That's
Yeah, I think going off of her, at least honestly, me, I'm very different the way I walk before when I'm with RC and at church, right, altar serving, because I feel like for me it would be very hard to be uptight and strict all the time. I feel like it's like sometimes it's good to let loose sometimes. So this is kind of my time to, at least because I'm here for God. I'm just here. I don't think He expects me to like look my best. Like I have to look perfect and all that. I have to march, walk perfectly. As long as I'm there, I'm putting in an effort. That's what matters more.
that's really great. The one thing I really wanted to know is that you guys are super active and people see you. How are you at school? Are you Catholic at church only, and then at school you're like, I don't really live out my faith? Because I gotta be honest, there are people who serve in church and do this, and people your age, and then you sneak up behind them, and they're like every other word is a cuss word, and then you're like, wait, that was one of the really cool kids at church, and it's like, so is it hard for you to live out your Catholic faith in school? Are you different at school than if you are at church?
Um, of course, I act a little bit differently because at church it has to be formal, but at school, like I kind of get loose and mess around sometimes. But to cuss words and like acting bad. I don't do that, especially in class, because you're there to learn and not to like really to make friends and to like have different opportunities, but not to mess around.
I love that. How about you, Jacob? How about this? Do you share your faith at school, or is that
Yes,
something that you're afraid of?
I share with my teacher. Sometimes I actually tell my friends, and they believe it in too. Most of them are Christians, and some of them are Catholics. And it's because they sometimes when they go to the closest church next to them, like the closest one, so they be Catholics because that's the closest one. But sometimes they go to Catholic ones that are like probably like 5 miles away or something. And yeah.
That's super cool. Now, are you good at school as you are at church?
Well, I think I'm really good at school. I've always been someone who likes to study. My mom's never had a problem with me trying to do my homework or read. So, yeah, I enjoy school
All
and I
right.
enjoy the learning.
Amongst the four of you, who's like the one that everybody has to push to study?
Oh,
It's between them.
It's between these two.
No, then.
Oh, the boys. It's the boys. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. And if there's something that you could like, if there is something you could like tell someone your age of about faith and about following God, what would it be?
So it depends if they're already in faith or they're not. If they're not, I would be saying like convincing them to do it, and it could be fun and like 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 kind of strict at the same time. And if they're like already like faithful, I'm just saying like keep it up, like don't do bad stuff, and like encourage them.
So I would encourage them to go to church more. And to if they were saying curse words, to try to stop and calm down, to be humble and stuff, and just to be a better person, and ask their moms and their parents to go to church.
Yeah, so I think a big thing that I do is that I kind of inform them about like what my faith's about, because a lot of people are just like, what is that, like, especially in college when people have different religions and things like that. They'll ask me like, how, what's your practice, what do you do? So I think a lot of it is just talking about what you believe in, and what like what it means to be Catholic. And I also think like being the example of what it means to be Catholic, making sure you're always you're never putting people down, you're never gossiping, you're showing how it what it means to be Catholic, to look out for others. And I think that's a huge role in it as well.
can you repeat the question?
What did I ask? I've already forgotten. But anyways, if how, in a nutshell, how do you share your faith with other people outside of church?
Well, one of the things I do when I like meet new people, it's I guess my form of socializing. Even though I'm not the most social person out there, I try to push myself. And something one of the few things I ask about, other than hobbies and what they like, is like, do they go to church, right? Like, do they believe in something? And I try to kind of ask them about their faith, show that I'm interested. Um, and I talk about, so sometimes they ask, sometimes they don't. Regardless, I mention what faith I am. I'm Catholic, and if they say they're Catholic, I'd be like, oh, cool, like that's cool. I am too. What church you go to? I asked that, and then ask them like, how do they go there often, or not so much? They have been there in a couple years. Um, and I kind of just encourage them like, oh, if you're still not going, or if you haven't gone in a while, like what's holding you back? Is it your family issues? If this, that, or the other? And I kind of try to encourage them. Maybe you can do this. Maybe you can do that. Of course, I try not to be too pushy because I understand there's some people out there that kind of they get pushed back. They get discouraged from that, from
Mhm.
people being too pushy. So I kind of just try to be more encouraging, but still hold myself back a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much how I go about it on a casual basis.
Yeah, you know what? That's really amazing how you guys each said it in your own way. There's a maturity level of how we share our faith, and it's as Catholics we always like get called out that we don't evangelize, but it's how we live our life. And I think how you guys have evangelized me is how you have lived your life in sharing how it is that you are ever so faithful. Both of you have helped me in my classes before, and so I could see that the way that you lead your life is how people are going to respond to you and follow you, because we're called to lead others. and we lead by example. Now, I really want to know, because you guys are so busy, how much TV time and computer time and game time do you have with like social media and video games? Do you like spend a whole lot of time doing that, or?
Okay, so usually it's an hour depending on like if we done all of our chores and like if we done all our studying and like what time do we have until bed. But usually it would be an hour, maybe less, depending on the day.
Yeah, most of the times we get like either 20 minutes or 30 minutes. But if we like work hard, like sometimes our mom will say do an essay, I'll let you, like for like 45 minutes. Then we'll do an essay and then she'll let us. But yeah, it depends if you do hard work or less work. You get less time or more time.
Oh, so for the older siblings, was that helpful for you to get into college, having less time with computers and games? Was that helpful for you? Did that improve the way that your study habits?
I think it is because I think during high school I kind of just learned that I don't have time to watch shows. I think I'd rather go home and sleep and rest for the next day. So I never really cared much for TV or movies. And so going into college, after I was done studying, I'd rather like read a book or like go outside or grab a meal. It was never watching TV is kind of even now it's never like
Mm-hmm.
an option. Especially our parents don't pay for subscriptions or any of that, so we don't you just kind of go with the flow. I think it's less. It's much more time for other things. Yeah, so it's good.
Oh.
It's helpful.
Yeah, I was gonna say. What was the question again?
It was how having less
Oh,
screen
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have benefited a lot. I feel like it's kind of, especially me. I think we all made it clear I'm one of the ones that need to be pushed to be studied. So kind of going through high school, I never had the best grades. And one of the things I really would have wished I would have been able to get was a scholarship. And um, I believe the only thing that really was holding me back from getting that scholarship was my GPA. Everything else was stacked. Everyone, whenever those helping me, my recruiters, he was a military scholarship. Those helping me would be like in awe of all the things I've done, all the things I'm still doing, and yeah, it's just helping me a lot. Not only that, it's like um, it leaves less time for me to think negative thoughts. That's one thing I'm grateful for, especially after listening to so many of my friends kind of talk about their problems or their lives and their like the negativity in their head. I become grateful for, even though sometimes I don't like always being pushed around, having to do something the next day, not being able to rest a whole lot. Um, it's grateful because I don't have. Whenever I come home, I'm tired. I go to sleep. Right. Obviously, sometimes I put in like watch a movie or something. I love movies. I don't know, but I just never had time to think about any of that stuff. So I am. It's been helpful both career wise and just psychologically or emotionally.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah, that's so profound because that is true. So, on this note, we're going to give Jacob the last word for this. So, if there's anything that you wanted to say to our listeners, what is it?
Um, always be faithful, do the right thing, then the bad thing. Try to be as good as you can. It's okay if you're not perfect. Just try to be as perfect.
Okay.
And yeah,
Amen. So, those are words of wisdom from the youngest among us. And so, take those words to mind, especially this coming new year, the birth of Christ. Take that to mind. The words that came from the youngest among us are words of wisdom. And so, as the Lord came as a child, these are words for this coming year from the children of this faith community at St. Mary's Youth Ministry family right here. And we want to thank you guys for continuing to watch our show. And we're going to put on some more episodes starting this new year. You'll be surprised, maybe, of the things that we're going to be doing. And as the beginning of that, this is the Lopez family. And we thank you. If you guys want to follow us, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you guys want to send us any emails, go to catholic.dad50@gmail.com. And again, just subscribe and follow. Thank you. And as always, be blessed and be third. Goodbye. That's it. Huh? Oh, then I started it. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Bless us, O Lord, in these segments. Now let's do dinner. So God bless us in this episode. What episode is this? 251. Alright. Episode 251. Hey. One and only. 3. Ready? I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but do you guys know what we're going to talk about? You know what we're talking about? Well, you said you can come on the podcast. Yeah, you're going to talk about being Catholic. Alright. 3, 2. Heaven's Father, you're listening. And we just got blessed. Maybe then put that on me. I talk a lot. I'm gonna cut that, so it's gonna be okay. Right there. It's the only time I cut when I screw up. But anyways.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Why?